afternoon, everyone, and thank you for logging on for the 2020 Workforce Development Virtual Summit for Employers. I am Tijuana Clifton, Marketing Communications Manager at South Carolina MBDA Business Center, and I will be facilitating this exciting webinar today. This webinar is exciting because as a longtime employee of the center, year after year, we have heard our clients and other employers decry the need for well-trained, reliable staff. Well, today, we have 7 options for the very employees you need. We will have representatives from each organization explaining their program and how it can benefit you. But before we begin, I'd like to tell you a little bit about South Carolina MBDA Business Center. The South Carolina Center is operated by DISA Inc. It is perhaps the longest running center in the MBDA network with 27 years of service. We are here to help minority-owned businesses compete in the global economy and stimulate the national and local economy through job creation. In short, our goal is to help million-dollar companies grow to $10 million and beyond. We do this by providing strategic business consulting, access to capital, and access to markets. The South Carolina Center could not have remained strong in its mission without longtime dedicated partners. Those partners that have teamed with us today to bring you this webinar. We'd like to take a moment to thank Midlands Technical College, Reemerge, which is a program that assists formerly incarcerated citizens, and South Carolina Department of Commerce. We will hear from Midlands Technical College and Reemerge later in the program. Now, I would like to ask Sonia Barkley, Business Services and Reporting Manager from the Department of Commerce, to say a few words. Sonia?
Thank you so much, Tijuana. My name is Sonia Barkley, and I am the Business Services Manager at South Carolina Department of Commerce. And joining the call today is also Elizabeth Kovacs. She's the Deputy Director of Workforce Development at Commerce. On behalf of Commerce, the Minority Business Development Agency, and DISA, we welcome you to today's webinar. We want to thank the staff of DISA for organizing this event, and we look forward to supporting them in future events as well. Today's webinar is for you, the employer. So please take notes, please ask questions, and most importantly, please take advantage of the resources that are available today in this hour. Again, we thank you for attending, and we hope that you find the resources you need for your staffing needs. Thanks.
Thank you, Sonia, for your continued partnership. We are almost ready to begin our webinar, but before we do, I'd like to thank our employers again for your attendance. Many of you attended may be sitting at your makeshift office space in your home as we adjust to this new coronavirus. Others may be attending by app on your mobile phone or other device, taking a break from working in the field. We recognize the effort and sacrifice that it takes for you to attend, and we certainly appreciate that. I'd also like to give a shout out to my team who are working hard behind the scenes, making sure everything goes smoothly. Tiffany Flood and Camille Shaw, a heartfelt thanks to you. And now we'd like to begin with a quick poll question. We'd like to gauge your need for employees. How many employee vacancies do you currently need to fill? 0. Let's look at our poll question. Poll question number 1, please. There we go. How many employee vacancies do you need to fill currently? Is it 0, 1 or 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 9, 10 or more? Please take a quick moment to complete this poll. Tiffany, do we have, all right, so we do have some results. 22%, 6 people says no, 1 to 2, 10 people, and 10 or more, 3 people. So as we can see from your responses, there is definitely a need for trained staff that's really ready to go. So our first speaker today is going to explain to you how you can establish an ongoing pool of candidates while getting great benefits as well. Kirsten Pratt is Youth and Community Apprenticeship Consultant at Apprenticeship South Carolina, a division of South Carolina Technical College System. She is a resource for all things apprenticeship for the counties she serves. Her focus is to help grow equitable apprenticeship opportunities for our youth and community while also meeting the workforce needs of South Carolina employers. Kirsten, I thank you for joining us. I think we're getting your slide ready now.
Thank you.
Do we have Kirsten's slides? Excellent. Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Thank you.
So Kirsten, let me go ahead and turn it over to you.
Well, thank you so much, Tijuana. Good afternoon, everyone. As you heard, my name is Kirsten Pratt, and I'm with Apprenticeship Carolina. I have a quick story I'd love to tell before I get started. So last summer, my niece plopped down on the couch looking exhausted. She had graduated from high school and was looking for employment related to her interest in HVAC. She sighed the same phrase I've heard so many people say, including myself back in the day, the age-old statement of, "They won't hire me because I don't have experience to do the job, but how can I gain experience if they won't hire me?" When she said that, I immediately thought to a conversation I had that same week with the medical clinic. Sweat dripped off the managers' heads as we discussed their fear of the retirements coming up in their HVAC department. Of course, the sweat could have been more so from how hot the room was since we were waiting for the AC to get repaired. It was known to kick on and off at random times. Even though the company only had 2 openings in the HVAC department, they were hitting a dead end on the amount of experienced talent available. After exploring the option of registered apprenticeship as a solution to their workforce need, a win-win-win was created. Today, my niece is happily employed in HVAC there while still studying and continuing education courses. The company is not so much worried about upcoming retirements in HVAC, and everyone in the building is enjoying consistent AC this summer. Moral of the story, registered apprenticeships have both the direct and indirect benefits for everyone. I find this to be a very important story now more than ever as we see how essential the human resource is to keep the world moving. Next slide, please. Currently, South Carolina has over 1,000 companies with registered apprenticeship programs. Of those companies, about half use the program to skill up current staff and half use it for developing brand new talent. Companies have told us they benefit from registered apprenticeship program through these benefits listed here. Highly skilled and productive talent as a benefit, standardized training across all their locations and work shifts, succession planning, reduced turnover, and the state tax credit South Carolina offers those that have a registered apprenticeship program, which is $1,000 per apprentice per year they're in the program, up to 4 years. Additional resources available also include access to millions of dollars in apprenticeship scholarships, mentor training, implementation resources, and more. You can double that benefit, and that apprenticeship also works very well with the other resources that you'll hear about on today's webinar. This is huge, because if you think about it, you can take advantage of tax savings, training scholarships, mentor training, and on top of that, you'll have more productive staff and ongoing program support. It's a no-brainer for your bottom line. Next slide. Registered apprenticeship in simplified terms is a standardized training model that gets someone from having 0 knowledge to 100% skilled. It's made up of these 3 components listed. At the core of these is the on-the-job learning, which is supervised by a mentor at the company to ensure the apprentice is progressing through all the essential work processes to become skilled in that occupation. Job-related education is complementary to the on-the-job learning. It's any relevant training that enhances what is learned on the job. This can be company-provided education, customized or traditional education from the technical college, relevant high school courses, vendor-specific training, or a combination of these. Over 60% of the companies with registered apprenticeship work with their local technical college for the job-related education because there are several scholarships available to them for this industry-specific training. You'll hear more about this from Ryan Hemby on today's webinar. The third component is the scalable wage progression. This is just a demonstration of how the company intends to compensate their apprentices as they grow and become more valuable in their skill level. Every company decides the wage progression. These three components are the same whether you're working with a youth or an adult. Youth registered apprenticeships is for 16 to 17-year-olds still in high school or career and technology centers. Adult registered apprenticeships is for anyone no longer in high school. Next slide, please. Here you'll see my contact information if you have any questions you'd like to have a specific conversation about your workforce development needs. I serve the Columbia, Lexington, Fairfield, Orangeburg, Calhoun, Allendale, Bamberg, and Barnwell counties. But if you go to our website there, apprenticeshipcarolina.com, we have a list of frequently asked questions, and you can be directed to your specific apprenticeship consultant for your area. In closing, I'll leave you with three of the most important takeaways for registered apprenticeship. You want to move forward with this if you find that your current staff or any new candidates do not have the skills and training necessary for your business needs. All apprenticeship programs are customized by the needs of the employers and registered with the Department of Labor. And there are several resources that are available at no cost, including consultant assistance, state tax credit, training dollars, mentor training, and more. Thank you again for your time and attention today. I encourage you to follow us on any of the social media platforms listed here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kirsten. And I know everyone is going to be very excited to learn more about your program. So we will be sending out the handouts that you provided to us. We will certainly send those out to our attendees after this webinar is over. So now our next speaker, she is Natasha Brooks, and she is the Business Services Representative at SC Works Midlands. She has been employed with SC Works since 2012 as a case manager, and now her current role is a business services consultant. Natasha, I am going to turn it over to you.
Good afternoon. My name is Natasha Brooks, and I am the business service consultant here at SC Works for the WIOA program. And my job is to make connections with local employers who are willing to hire our participants in the WIOA program. I would like to start off with a short story as well with one of my participants, which was referred to us through Reemerge, a partner agency of ours. The participant actually came into the program with some barriers that was hindering him from getting employment, and that was his case manager at the time. But I knew by looking at his resume, he was well skilled in informational technology and biology. So I got with business services here at SC Works, and we actually went to Benedict College, who actually had an opening for that particular job. And we discussed what was happening with our participants. Make a long story short, they gave him a chance through our transitional program at $16 an hour. And then they were so surprised by his work ethic and his work, they actually transitioned him into an OJT, actually making $26.89 an hour in information technology at Benedict College. Next slide. Our work-based learning programs offer training while being paid to work. And this is a chance where employers have an opportunity to value our participants or employees before they hire them. Next slide. Youth work experience. Our youth work experience is up for to 10 weeks. It's for participants that are 17 to 24 years old. Once they enter onto a work site, as a business service consultant, I will complete their I-9 in the first 3 days of their placement. They are paid $10 an hour by WIOA, SC Works. They can work up to Monday through Friday for 30 hours at a time, and anytime between 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. They just cannot exceed the 40 hours per week. After a youth work experience, an employer can move that participant on to an OJT, and I'll get into an OJT at the end of my slides. We also have the internships. My internship is a short-term, part-time or full-time training assignment that is up for 12 weeks. And it's also played by in breast care, which is now Equitas at Workforce at SC Works. We pay 100% of those wages as well at the employer's rate that they wish for that participant to be paid for. And they actually can move on to an OJT after completing the internships as well. Next slide. Transitional placements. Our transitional placements are for adults and dislocated workers. They do have to have a certain barrier to be able to be placed on a transitional, but again, we complete the I-9, all that paperwork for the first 3 days of the assignment. They can work up to 12 weeks. Participants can work up to 40 hours, any days or any hours. And we match the hourly rate, whatever the employer is paying for that particular job, we match it and pay the same rate to the employee. Then after they finish that particular transition placement with that company, the employer has a chance to move them on to an OJT as well. But there's no overtime, it's only just for the straight 40 hours for the transitional placements. Our on-the-job training. On-the-job training is for participants that are for 17 years and older. Participants do not have to be in either a work experience or a transitional placement program before having an OJT. We will reimburse an employer up to 75% of participants' hourly rate for companies with 99 employees or less. 75% of an OJT has, if they have a selected barrier, meaning if they have something that's hindering them from getting regular employment, we can pay up to 75% for that particular job, no matter the number of employees for that company. For companies more than 99 employees, we will reimburse the employer up to 50% of an OJT hourly rate if the participant has no barrier. Employers are reimbursed on a monthly basis, but we would not, employers are not reimbursed for overtime. Anything overtime is actually paid by the employer. But at that time, they enter into an OJT, they actually are an employee of that company. We're just reimbursing them for giving our participants a chance at employment. But we also do reverse referrals. If you're an employer and you have a client of your own and you want to benefit from the program, you actually can send them through our program to get certified and enrolled, and we can actually place them back on that work site where the employer can actually receive that 75% wage reimbursement. And lastly, I don't think I have another slide. Next slide. Lastly, our work-based learning programs are designed to support participants in working towards and achieving their employment goals. But as an employer, you have an opportunity to evaluate the work of participants, employees, and possibly offer a full-time position as they transition through our programs. So basically, you get to try out an employee for free. If you are interested in any of our services, please feel free to contact me. I have my information in that first slide, but I think you guys have my information as well if they are actually interested in any of our programs that I've talked about here today.
Okay, so thank you so much, Natasha. A couple of things you said really stood out to me, and I'd like to ask quickly. So what you're saying is that your organization will help find the employee, do the paperwork, and pay sometimes dollar for dollar what the employer normally would pay. So if they had a $17 an hour job, you would pay $17 an hour?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
And I will ask this quick question too. Are disabilities considered barriers to your organizations? Is that what you consider to be a barrier?
Yeah, that can be a barrier, but that doesn't stop them from getting employed, but yes.
Okay, excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much, Natasha. That was tremendous information for us. And now at this time, I actually think we have time for another poll question. So please take a moment to answer the poll question. How do you usually go about seeking employees? Do you generally use online services like Indeed or Career Builder? Social media like Facebook, LinkedIn, word of mouth, or do you go with a job placement service or temp agency? Please take a quick moment to respond to that. And Tiffany, if all of the responses are in, we can look at those results. So it looks like right now, the way that most of you seek your employees pretty much going online, using Indeed or Career Builder as a way. And it also looks like word of mouth is very high as well. So that's excellent. So now that poll question actually is the perfect kickoff for Mike Daniels, who is the program manager at Goodwill Industries of Upstate and Midlands. Mike is responsible for all aspects of the state and federal grant-funded senior community service employment programs. He provides leadership and oversight over there, and we are very excited to have him here with us today. So Mike, I know when people think of Goodwill, what they really think about are the great finds and great deals that we can get there. And also, it seems to be a great source of tax deductions. And I know I've used that myself. Now, many employers may not have thought about Goodwill as being a source for reliable workforce. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. Thank you, Tijuana, and thank you for putting together this awesome summit. Good afternoon, everyone. And as Tijuana mentioned, please allow me a few precious minutes to share with you the good news of Goodwill. Slide 1, please. Your donations help us build stronger communities, provide education and training to job seekers, and assist small businesses and manufacturers throughout our 16-county footprint by helping them find skilled workers. We do good work for businesses in South Carolina. Our business services include recruitment, subcontracting, janitorial, window cleaning, and catering. Previous screen, please. Since 1973, many companies have relied on Goodwill for industrial subcontracting services. Our capabilities are a great solution for businesses facing short or long-term industrial and manufacturing production demands, or those requiring additional temporary or permanent manpower. Quickly access a well-trained workforce with guaranteed quality control while you boost capacity without adding space, equipment, or full-time personnel. Our good production services include quality control testing, small product assembly, and subassembly to client specification, inspection, sorting, packaging, labeling, and much more. Our satisfied clients include BMW, 3M, Michelin, Caterpillar, and many more. In addition, we offer janitorial services, both facility cleanings, floor care, window cleaning, and again, catering services. Now, next slide, please. Now I would like to take a few moments to elaborate on our recruitment services. For businesses and manufacturers, we provide employer services such as candidate pre-screening and referrals. So as job seekers enter into our Job Connection Centers, and we have 27 Job Connection Centers throughout our footprint. So yes, 27 Job Connection Centers. So when job seekers enter into our center, we help them, our team of employment specialists help them identify their skills and refer them to employment opportunities in alignment with their skills, which enables us to find a perfect match for your company. We have a proven track record of finding great associates quickly. And so as listed, we provide this service by job postings, candidate pre-screenings and referrals. We also host hiring events. And again, this all comes out to a reliable manpower for your company. So this is a common sense plan to empower our businesses here in South Carolina and support the American workers. So if you're seeking to build a dependable, professional-minded workforce that excels in delivering top-notch performance, please consider Goodwill. Next slide, please. So please contact me for additional details. As Tijuana noted, I manage 2 grants providing job training services in 31 counties in our state, but also I'm here to assist businesses fulfill their needs. So Goodwill, we are a proven resource for a reliable, skilled workforce.
Excellent, thank you. So what I'm understanding is that in addition to that great LAMP, I can also get employers can go there and really find someone to assist them and help with their workforce?
Yes, that is correct. So when When an employer, they enter into our Goodwill retail store, we have stores that have job connection centers. And so we do have a team of employment specialists that are there to help the employer and the job seeker make that perfect match. So for the
And that you
employers
have
that,
one of those here in Columbia, right? And
yes, that is correct. We have job connection centers here in Columbia. I'm here on Decker, also on St. Andrews Road. We have others as well. And so my contact information is here. Please give me a call because we are located throughout the upstate and Midlands of South Carolina. And so we have many job connection centers here to assist our employee community.
excellent. Thank you so much, Mike.
You're
Now,
very welcome.
I want to move to Karen Gordon. Karen is the Business Development Specialist at South Carolina Vocational Rehabilitation. She serves the Richland area and works closely with local businesses to identify consumers that may meet their labor market needs. She has served in this capacity since 2014 and thrives on networking and relationship building. Karen, we would love for you to tell us more about your program.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me and the opportunity to share information about our business services at VR. What I'd like to first off share is that this is a tremendous amount of untapped talent. Most employers, most general lay people do not think of individuals with disabilities as a viable option for identifying meeting labor market needs. So I'm excited that I have an opportunity to share about that. Before I get started in my presentation, I would like to just highlight something that occurred fairly recently amid COVID. A lot of people have been kind of put in a holding pattern. But ironically, we were able to help a young man who had some food services experience. He was very reliable, but he wanted to change his direction. We partnered up with a local employer that provided landscaping services in the area. We were not able to provide the job training opportunity for him, the job tryout, but ironically, it was a huge success. So this young man actually started this job in March and is currently being trained to be a crew leader at a particular site. And I think that just speaks volumes to, amid this crisis, we still have a lot of opportunities to come out on top. So I thank you for the opportunity to share about VR. Next slide, please. Here, I just wanted to highlight the basic components of business services. Our business services fall into 4 major categories: planning, recruiting, training, and job retention services. And I'll speak a little bit about job retention a little bit later because that is in reference to your current workforce. But last year, we actually provided services to more than 1,000 businesses around the state of South Carolina. And we do have a business development specialist that sits and serves every county. So if you operate in multiple counties and you're outside of the Midlands, but you'd like more information, please feel free to reach out to me and I can connect you with my colleague in that county. As a part of our business services, we work closely with local employers. We review job descriptions, evaluate the consumers that we work with, and present particular candidates to the employers. People like that because it saves time and money as compared to traditional research and searching opportunities for candidates. We work with employers to help them build strong, diverse workforces through job fairs and also vocationally focused talent fairs that we can host we traditionally hosted on site at VR. These events will give employers access to untapped talent pools of professionals that meet their needs, whatever that might be. So when a position actually becomes available and an employer reaches out to me or a business development specialist, we can assist with pre-screening, the candidate referral, and actual individual interview scheduling to help support that process. So our business partners really like that because it'll save them a lot of time and money as compared to actually going online searching for someone. Next slide, please. So pre-COVID, we would conduct employer site visits that would give us an opportunity to actually check out the work environment and the culture there, so that we not only identified someone who met the skill sets, but would also be able to work in that particular environment as well. We provide educational training sessions. We also invite employers to come and tour our training centers and our local offices as well. We're currently working on our new normal protocol. So if you're interested in connecting with us, just feel free to reach out to me. And I'm certain that we could actually have some virtual opportunities until we can move to the next step for face-to-face interactions. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is the part that I enjoy, is the training opportunities, the salary incentives, and encouraging employers to take advantage of the Work Opportunity Tax Credit. Now, I know that we've heard about work-based learning experiences, but many times they may be structured differently for different entities. So for Vocational Rehabilitation Department, our work-based learning experiences are traditionally provided to our younger population, which will be our high school students or recently completing high school. They can work these work-based learning experiences up to 240 hours. We pay the actual training stipend, and they're covered under workers' comp through VR while they're on the actual job site. That's great for a lot of employers if they have like a temporary need, like if it's a high volume season of service and they don't actually have a full-time slot to bring a new employee on, but there's a intermittent need. That's an opportunity that we could certainly assist with. The next is going to be the JTO, the job tryouts, which last anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, depending upon the job, the job duties, and the particular individual nuances that go with that package. And we would discuss that. And sometimes an employer will say, hey, we don't need 30 days to figure out whether or not this person will be able to grasp what we need. So it's individualized. Again, same thing, whatever you're paying for that particular job during the training time, VR pays that. If it's $15 an hour, $17 an hour, whatever, we pay that so that if it is a success, it's a seamless transition from the job tryout to actually being hired by the employer. The last one, the on-the-job training, is also, that works a little different as well. That is a post-hire opportunity. So if an employer actually extends an opportunity of employment to this particular individual, as long as it is a full-time position with benefits and we have an actual solution to or milestones for training components up to 12 weeks, we are able to negotiate a portion of that salary being reimbursed to the actual employer for those first 3 months. So a lot of employers are comfortable with that. So if you want to know more about that, please reach out to me after today. The Work Opportunity Tax Credit, yes, that is a targeted population, individuals with disabilities. And I know that SCDO will actually be providing some additional information regarding the details on the amounts and the timelines. But that is definitely a benefit to an employer if they hire an individual with disabilities. Again, thank you so much for the time today to share about the business services at VR, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. I think that is tremendous information that our attendees would be able to utilize. Next, we have Diana Goldwire up, and she is the Area Director for Region 2 with South Carolina Department of Employment and Workforce, and most of us know that as SC-DO. She works directly with the SC Works team in 6 of the 12 regions across the state. She assists the field service staff with daily troubleshooting, training, and she is a liaison between the main office and the centers. Diana, I know DO is where people go for unemployment, but DO is also a great source for employers also, right?
That's right. So DO, that's correct. DEW, we're not just an unemployment service, we're an employment service. Next slide, please. So DO is one of the many agencies that's part of the SC Works brand, or SC Works umbrella. So vocational rehabilitation, DSS, and DO were part of this, as well as WIOA. When you visit to one of our local centers, DO and other workforce partners are there at one location to help employers with their workforce needs. Some of our services include South Carolina's largest job board, and it's free to post, scworks.org. We're there to help you find candidates, book hiring events, and schedule events, and so much more. What separates us from other job boards like Monster or Career Builder, or Indeed, from us, what I saw on the poll, is that we have live business consultants that are available to assist you in your hiring processes, all for free. If you're interested in this, please visit our website or email me for more information. Next slide, please. We work with lots of employers that want to hire job seekers with background issues or a lack of work experience. We get asked by employers all the time, what can they do to help? What kind of incentives are available? And what kind of protections are available? We have 2 programs to consider. The Work Opportunity Tax Credit, or known as WOTC. This is an incentive for businesses like you to hire unemployed veterans, disabled veterans, and individuals with documented barriers to employment. Tax credits range from $2,400 to $9,600. For-profit entities can receive 40% tax credit against eligible employees' first-year wages after they have worked 400 hours. Qualified not-for-profit entities can participate when hiring qualified veterans for 26% credit against eligible employees' first-year wages after they have worked 400 hours. To find out if your business qualifies, please use the email addresses provided. Federal bonding is the other program. This is coverage that provides employers protection against loss of money or property due to employee dishonesty for any worker that may be considered high risk. High-risk workers include those who are justice involved, recovering addicts, people lacking work history, and more. Bonds are issued for the first 6 months of employment and are typically issued for $5,000 of Fidelity insurance coverage. There's no cost to the employee or your business. With both of these programs, we have countless stories of customers who are justice involved, but they're now top performing employees. We have customers that were stay-at-home parents, and now they're the employee of the month. These programs give your business the opportunity to give someone a second chance and for you to be part of a success story. Highly recommend both of these programs. If you're interested in more information about these 2 programs, you can email me or the 2 email addresses that are provided. Other employer services include on-the-job training, or OJT, that was mentioned in the SC Works presentation earlier. That is offered all over the state. If you're interested in getting involved with this, you can email me and I'll put you in touch with your local OJT coordinator. The Incumbent Worker Training Program, or the IWT program, provides funding for training that's needed for current businesses due to expansion, new technology, retooling, or new product lines, or a part of a layoff reversion strategy. Payments for receiving one of these trainings depends on the training program you're wanting to do and the funding that is available. If you're interested in one of these programs, please email me and I'll put you in touch with your local IWT coordinator. And wind testing. This is offered at most of our SC Work centers. This is a South Carolina Ready to Work credential that's free for all job seekers. These credentials can help you determine which candidates are employable and have soft skills. Please visit the website for more information. Next slide, please. This was a lot of information covered. So if you have any questions or would like to be matched with a local contact in your area with any of the programs that were mentioned, please email me directly at dgoldwire@do.sc.gov and I'll be happy to assist you. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you, Diana. We certainly appreciate all that wealth of information you shared today. So at this moment, we do have time for one more poll question, and we'd like for you to take a moment to complete this question. From what you've heard so far, let's wait for that poll question to come up. From what you've heard so far, how likely are you to try or consider one of the services presented here today? Definitely, likely, maybe, not likely, and definitely not. And whenever we can get those results. Excellent. So what we have so far, definitely 46% of people responding say they would definitely look into it further, and 37% says likely. So excellent. Thank you guys so much for taking that poll question. Now, up next, we have Dwight James, who is the Program Director of Reemerge, a reintegration program that uses employment, coaching, education, and entrepreneurship to help formerly incarcerated citizens get well on the way of earning a livable wage and entrepreneurship. Dwight James is here to tell us more about this program and how it can be a resource for employers. Dwight?
Yes, thank you, Tijuana. And I'm delighted to be here today to share some information and insight on Reemerge. First of all, I'd like to say hats off to the panel. They are all essential members of the reentry community, as we refer to them, and all the services that they provide, because we partner with most of them from time to time in assisting employers and job seekers. As we move forward, the reentry program that we offer focuses on the previously incarcerated, as Tijuana mentioned. We're about building relationships with employers to anticipate their needs and future hiring. We maintain an active portfolio of 100 to 125 clients that cover a broad range of interests and abilities. We're open to finding opportunities for term assignments, part-time work that coordinates with training, OJT, and all of the other components of employment that have been mentioned earlier. In terms of our resources for employers, sustainable employment comes in many forms. In one example, one of our employers cites the number of previously incarcerated individuals that he has hired through our program and refers to them as some of his most loyal employees, always willing to do whatever's necessary to complete the job to high standards and acquire whatever experience, information, talent that's required for them to be successful. On to our next slide. Reentry programs create value for employers, families, and communities. With over 10,000 people being released from South Carolina's prisons each year, we use these contacts, the reentry community, in identifying gems that most other people might overlook. So we look for talent that sometimes is hidden or not evaluated. And we work with them and identify motivated individuals who really want to work for you and do the best job possible. So we invest our resources in helping them to hone their skills. We organize specific training. We do that in partnership with employers as well. Sometimes it's a share expense situation where we cover some of the costs, the employer does as well. In one instance, we were able to place a gentleman, we'll refer to him as Ricky. Ricky entered prison at age 16, and he exited at age 41. Along that path, he missed the opportunity for high school matriculation, to even learn how to drive and secure a driver's license. So, and I say this to, one, highlight the obstacles that some of the individuals overcome. And now with the opportunity to gain a living wage and sustainable employment, that particular individual went from actually sent an email saying that he's moved from 18 cents an hour to over $17 an hour on his new job. So he had the experience of getting his first paycheck ever at age 41. And he's excited about his prospects for his career moving forward. He has since experienced two promotions and now leads a small team on that job. But there are many more Rickies that we are discovering. And through the options of training, support, and opportunities for employment that employers like you can provide, we give them a new lease on life. We add value to their lives, value to the communities, and we help you become successful deliverers of the services that you provide. In wrapping up this next slide, what makes a partnership with re:emerge effective? It's the relationship that we establish with you as employers, finding out exactly what you need, tailoring our efforts to create an employee that suits your purpose and delivers the skill set that you need to accomplish your objectives. We're interested in working with you. We invite you to contact us. We're not just going to be a partner for the period to get them hired. We continue to track those individuals for 12 months. So those supportive services are there throughout that spectrum. And so you can count on us to remain a partner to make sure that the link that we've established continues to be a support system for you as an employer and your newly hired employee. Thank you very much. You have our contact information and exactly how you may reach me for more information, or if you're interested in having a referral from us. Thank you, Tijuana.
Wow, thank you, Dwight. I mean, really for sharing such an awesome story. And finally, we'd like to move to Midlands Technical College, which is one of our partners for this webinar. Midlands Tech is perhaps one of the best institutions within South Carolina's technical school system. We have Ryan Henby, who is the Business Solutions Director, and Mr. Ray Thomas, who is the Dean of Schools of Business and AMST. They're going to share with us how Midlands Tech can provide you with long and short-term solutions to your staffing concerns. Ryan and Ray, I'm turning it over to you.
Thank you, Tijuana, and thank you for that great introduction. We greatly appreciate the opportunity to speak today and also talk with you on how we can be a workforce development partner, both short-term and long-term. My name is Ryan Henby, and I'm the Business Solutions Director at Midlands Technical College.
And I'm Ray Thomas, Dean of the School of Business and the School of Advanced Manufacturing and Skilled Trades. And as Ryan said, we look forward to sharing ways that Midlands Tech can help you address the skilled workforce shortages that many of us are experiencing in today's economy. If we can go ahead and advance to the next slide, Ryan is going to talk about some of those opportunities.
Absolutely. As the Business Solutions Director with the college, many of the employers that we work with, as indicated in the first poll question, state that it's difficult finding the person with the skills to do the job that we need them to do today. Well, we have been successful in working with many employers to help develop short-term corporate and continuing education training in the areas of advanced manufacturing and quality, industrial trades and technology, IT, healthcare, and employee leadership and development. These programs have been established and designed to provide a quick job education to meet the immediate needs of our employers. We also have the ability to customize our approach as well, offering an opportunity to where we can offer consulting and facilitation in an on-site and virtual platforms with a combination of all of the training that we provide. And as also indicated in poll question number 2, we can help connect our employers to our Student Employment Services Department. This is an opportunity to where all of our employers can post any career opportunities that they have. All of this information goes out to all of our current students, any alumni, and any individuals that are interested in learning more about the programs that we offer at Midlands Technical College.
That's great. And Ryan, those are great opportunities that we have focused on short term, but we've also got opportunities as we think about those to also be thinking down the road a little further for a long-term perspective. And this is something that maybe a lot of employers might not realize, but they have an opportunity to actually develop a relationship with the various programs at Midlands Tech to ensure that the things that we are teaching and developing in our students are the skill sets that you need to have in your employees as they enter the workforce. We actually want employers to become involved with Midlands Tech as a partner as we bring education to our community. I'll tell you, one good thing that employers can do is simply schedule a meeting to come out and visit the campus and see our students in action. We had it was a welding company, and they had a very specific need for a welder that could do a real specific, highly technical type of welding. They were looking for candidates, and at the time they called, we actually didn't teach that kind of welding. But after speaking with the employer, they came out, they met with our students, they brought materials that our students could practice on. They helped us develop very specific training for them. They recommended equipment that they use at their company. And so the result of that partnership, that effort was they went from not being able to find any welders to finally they hired 12 to 15 welders over the next 2 years, completely transformed the way that this company approached hiring and meeting their workforce needs. Our students and their employees from Midlands Tech actually performed so well, they were actually able to, I guess, move up in their standard of employees, and they realized some of the ones that they previously had weren't measuring up, and ended up kind of being able to advance the skill and the type of employee that they had working for their company. So very much a win-win opportunity there. Kirsten talked about apprenticeships, and Midlands Tech is the community provider for job-related education as part of that apprenticeship. We've got that in the long-term area because there's some development that goes with it, but it's actually a pretty short process. Just takes a little bit of arrangement and organization to make sure that, again, that the things that we are teaching in our programs are the things that you need in your employees, and make sure that they are work ready on day one to make performance and productivity gains, and most importantly, bottom line gains for your company. We can move on to the next slide. Ron will talk to us about ways to actually pay for some of these opportunities.
Thank you, Ray. And as Ray indicated, through our partnerships with Apprenticeship Carolina, as a great success story, we had the ability to work with a large advanced manufacturer here in Columbia, South Carolina, where we've been able to identify and uncover an opportunity for them to offer a quick job-related education to fill an entry-level position that is in major need of the organization. We've been able to look into that opportunity and develop a youth apprenticeship opportunity, an adult apprenticeship opportunity that allows them to partner with Apprenticeship Carolina for apprenticeship grants used to offset the cost of that job-related education. We also, through our partnerships with MTC, have additional grants that we can offer as well in several different program areas. We benefit from partnering with our suppliers. As an example, Haas Foundation Scholarship feeds into our CNC program. So any student that is, or any employer that is in need of upskilling an individual to move in some of those programs can take advantage of that supplier scholarship. Many of those quick job scholarships, as I mentioned, can feed into some of the program areas that we offer in corporate and continuing education. And we also have a great partner with MTC Foundation that helps offset the cost of any job-related education for employers and some of our students that are looking to get into some great programs. As another quick success story, we've been able to work with a small construction company that was looking to fill an opportunity within their organization as well. They identified our construction management program as a viable job-related education. They identified a candidate and enrolled that individual into that construction management program. We were able to help offset the cost through financial aid and lottery tuition assistance to the employer, and allowing that individual to continue its education and be a viable employee for the employer. So what we really want to do is just to make sure that we can connect our employers to all the opportunities that are available, and If you could move to the next slide, please. This today is only a snapshot of what we have the ability to do. Many of the programs that we offer now have been moved to a virtual platform due to the COVID pandemic. We've also witnessed and understand that there are a lot of displaced workers that might be looking to move into an additional industry so that they can continue their career opportunities as well and take care of their families. We want to make sure that we can be that conduit, that connection from the employer to those employees and help upskill them so that they are able to come to work and be viable employees for you today.
Thanks, Ryan. And just kind of wrapping things up, this is the contact information for Ryan and for myself. If you're an employer, Ryan is the contact for you, your connection to Midlands Tech. You've got his email and his phone number as the Business Solutions Director. And again, Dean in the School of AMST and the School of Business, my email, phone number, and some links to programs I'm involved with as well. And like Ryan said, really we've just touched the surface of really kind of scratched the beginning of some of the programs and the ways that we can work together. So whether you need employees in business or management, accounting, payroll, HVAC, CDL, building construction, commercial graphics, welding, mechatronics, industrial electrical, automotive, healthcare, IT, it goes on and on. We probably have ways that we can work together. Please reach out. Don't hesitate to give us a call and see if we can help. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan and Ray. And I did not know that Midlands Tech had so many opportunities and that you guys are so responsive to the community needs. So great job. And thank you so much for that. Now, I know that we have gone through a lot of information in a very short period of time, so that there are some questions. In fact, some of the questions have already started to come in, and I'll go ahead and start with those. But I encourage everyone else to please, if you have any questions, please go ahead and you can put them in the Q&A section. And I'm going to begin with the very first question. If your question is geared towards a specific person, please indicate that. So the first question we have is there a cost to participate in any of these programs? Is there a cost to participate, a cost from the employer to participate? Everybody's program is at no cost to the employer? Is that correct?
That's correct.
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 Excellent. So there's definitely a very low cost barrier to entry. It may take your time, it may take your initiative, but there certainly is not a financial cost to it. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's fantastic. Okay, so here's another question that came in. It says, I wasn't aware of these programs. If my business has a job description and opening right now, can you assist me with screening and placement quickly? Which of the organizations would this particular person go to for immediate assistance?
So I can answer on behalf of Midlands Tech. We do have a website that's available for employers to come and take a look at our current students that are actively seeking employment. And so if, let's just say that they had an automotive mechanic position, they can actually go to our website, look up students that are interested in working in the automotive field. And so they are live, currently available, and there's no cost to that service at all.
So excellent. So Midlands Tech is a resource for that.
Yeah, and Reemerge is also a resource, Tijuana.
Yes, on behalf of Goodwill Industries, we are also a resource for businesses. I can be contacted at mdaniels@goodwillsc.org.
And same thing with SE Works. SE Works is also a resource as well. And you can contact us, you can email it to me at dgoldwire@do.sc.gov, and we can take care of that as well.
And the same goes for SE Work WIA program. We do that as well.
MTC can also connect you to our student employment services. Anyone who is looking to get that connection, please contact me today and we can make that connection.
Okay, so it sounds like every organization represented here would be able to assist this, if you have a job description, we can help you fill this position. So thank you so much. And Tricia Richardson said call center with technology skills. Did you have Tricia, if you had a specific question about that, please let us know. And I will go ahead and say that this web session is being recorded and it will be made available to everyone after we conclude here today. Now, do we have any more questions? Those were two very good questions to get us started. Tricia says that we are in need of people with call center and technology skills. So I'm certain that she'll be reaching out to several of you after today to see how you can assist her. So do we have any more questions? Okay. Hello, my name is Katrina Meeks, and I am an area manager with Spartanburg SBDC, and I am working with a colleague to find a minority electrical contractor that is minority certified to work with the Carolina Panthers training facility project for Midlands Tech. If anyone, for Midlands Tech, if you have an alumni, please contact me. And she gave a information in the chat, and we'll get that over to you guys. So it certainly seems like there's a great need for employees to fill these slots. So excellent. Now, do we have any more questions to the panelists here? Annette Rich says, what about small companies who are looking for 1 or 2 employees?
Most definitely.
Yes, SE Works can help out with that too.
Goodwill can help out with that, absolutely.
So it does not need to be large companies looking for manufacturing or wanting you to tailor a program for them. If they have very specific needs with 1 or 2 people, even with, let's say, a janitorial or lawn service, even small employers like that can find employees with you all.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
Tijuana, if I might,
Please.
have a second. I'd like to just highlight our entrepreneurship component, because some of those on the participating today might have an interest in mentoring a newly minted business entity. So we want to hold that out as an option, an opportunity for established businesses to support new entrepreneurs on that journey.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Dwight. And I think that is it for our questions. So we'd like to go ahead and wrap up our program here today. But I don't want you guys to hang up just yet. Please give me a moment to thank each of you for your time and your attention, as well as our wonderful speakers and our partners, South Carolina Department of Commerce, Midlands Technical College, and Reemerge. So as soon as this meeting is over, you will get a pop-up survey on your screen. Please take a moment to respond to that survey on whatever platform or device you may be using. And again, I'd like to give a major thank you to everyone who has participated, everyone who has joined in, and that will end our program here today. So thank you all and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.